Hi everyone, this is Tejaswini. Welcome back. As in last video, we have discussed two types of tests used for the identification of carbohydrate, namely Mollis test, and next one is the Benedict test. Mollis test is used for the identification of carbohydrate, and Benedict test is used for the identification of reducing sugar. Reducing sugar is that sugar contains aldehyde or alpha hydroxyketone methyl group. And I think it would be better to study you guys all the tests comparatively rather than single test in single video, as there is this special test for identification of pentose. If we have to distinguish aldohexose from ketohexose, there is a special test. So let's start with the Mollis test. As in Mollis test, which is used for identification of carbohydrate, there is a principle which is when carbohydrate is allowed to react with any acid, strong acid like H2SO4 or HCl, then there is a formation of furfural. Furfural is aldehyde. I told you, if pentose react with acid, then there is a formation of furfural. And when hexose react with acid, then there is a formation of hydroxymethyl furfural, short form. If we allow this aldehyde to react with two molecules of alpha naphthol from Mollis reagent, this is present in Mollis reagent, then we get purple color ring at the junction of two liquids. This is all about Mollis test. Now what happens in Benedict test? Benedict test is used for identification of reducing sugar. So if our sample contains reducing sugar, then that sugar should have aldehyde group or alpha hydroxyketone methyl group. Then what happens? That aldehyde group will react as reducing agent, and this is Cu2 plus. This is from Benedict reagent. Remember Benedict reagent, copper sulfate pentahydrate and sodium carbonate and sodium citrate. These are the reagents used for the Benedict reaction. Then what happens? There is a redox reaction. Redox reaction is reduction plus oxidation. What happens? This reducing agent will reduce Cu2 plus and will get oxidized itself and will form COOH, which is carboxylic acid. And Cu2 plus with oxidation 2 plus will reduce to Cu plus, that is cuprous oxide or copper oxide with oxidation state +1. This reduction in oxidation state, see this is cuprous oxide, due to this chemical red, orange or brown orange precipitate will form. And from this we can understand if that sample contains reducing sugar or not. Then there is another reaction same as Benedict reaction, which is Barfoed reaction. Barfoed test. Here I will write Barfoed test. Principle of that test is same as Benedict reaction or Benedict test. See, this test is used to detect reducing monosaccharide. See, this is used to detect reducing monosaccharide, or we can say this test is used to distinguish reducing monosaccharide from disaccharide. And principle is CHO. This is if our sample contain reducing monosaccharide, then same again Cu2 plus and one more molecule is there, water molecule. Again Cu2 plus in 2 plus oxidation state and Barfoed reagent. Remember Barfoed reagent, which is copper sulfate and acetic acid. What happens in this reaction? There is again redox reaction. This will get oxidized and this will get reduced, and we get COOH, that is carboxylic acid, plus copper in +1 oxidation state and 4 protons. This is Barfoed test and this is Benedict test, but just difference is there, and two different reagents are used for different purpose, as we have to identify or we have to distinguish reducing monosaccharide from disaccharide, and here we have to detect monosaccharide or reducing sugar. Sorry, not monosaccharide, we have to detect reducing sugar. Here heating is carried out for 3 minutes, and if there is a prolonged heating, see, here we have to distinguish reducing monosaccharide from disaccharide. Also there is a disaccharide present in our sample. In prolonged heating, what happens, that disaccharide will convert into monosaccharide, and that would give again Barfoed test positive. Means there would be again brick red precipitate. We will get brick red precipitate for this disaccharide after converting into monosaccharide. Remember this. Actually, one more test is there for identification of reducing sugar, which is Ossazon test. In this test, crystals will form, and different reducing sugar has different crystalline nature. Also, they have different precipitation time and different melting point, from which we can identify that reducing sugar or the name of that reducing sugar. Here I will write the principle of that Ossazon test. In this test, reducing sugar will react with reagent, which is phenylhydrazine. Remember this reagent, as this reagent is asked in exam, and there is a question also in Sanjeev Kumar Sharma book. In Ossazon test, here reducing sugar with aldehyde group will react with phenylhydrazine to give Ossazon. Crystalline structure. And different reducing sugar has different crystalline structure. Different reducing sugar has different crystalline structure. Different precipitation time and different melting point. Different precipitation time, this is short form for precipitation time, and different melting point. There are two more important tests used for identification, namely Sullivan's test and Bayes test. These tests are correlated to each other. Before going to understand, remember one short form, SRKBOP. You can remember like this. SRK belongs to poor family, or SRK means Shah Rukh Khan. Shah Rukh Khan is boy of poor family. Shah Rukh Khan is boy of poor family. S is for Sullivan's. R is for resorcinol reagent. And color of end result. And K is for ketohexose. and BOP, which is boy of poor family. B is for biles. B is for biles. Then O is for arsenal, reagent, biles and blue color of end result. And P is for pentose. Sullivanov test is used for identification of ketohexosis, or if we have to distinguish ketohexosis from aldohexosis. Hexosis 6 carbon monosaccharide. And this BOP is Biles test used for identification of pentoses, or if we have to distinguish pentoses from hexoses. And the reagent used for bile test is arsenal reagent. And in this Sullivanov test, we have to use resorcinol reagent. And end result is red color, and in this reaction end result is blue color. So let's start. First is Sullivanov test. Sullivanov test used for identification of ketohexosis. Principle of these two tests are near about same. See here. Suppose this is ketohexose. Sorry, this is aldehyde. Aldohexose, not ketohexose. Ketohexose is like this. 1, 2, 3 and CH2OH. These ketohexoses will react with acid and we will get furfural. Again, this furfural will react with hexoses, hydroxymethyl furfural. As this is hexose sugar reacting with acid. After reacting with acid, we will get hydroxymethyl furfural. This hydroxymethyl furfural again will react with Sullivanov reagent, which is resorcinol, and we will get red color precipitate. If we actually, there is heating. After prolonged heating, this ketohexose will convert into aldohexose. And in this reaction, Biles test. Okay. See, this sugar, which is pentose. Suppose this is pentose sugar. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. After reacting with acid, we will get furfural. And reagent of Biles test is arsenal. And this arsenal react with furfural and we will get blue color complex. Or blue color precipitate. This is pentose. Sample may contain hexose also, and hexose will give red, brown or green color. Remember, and pentose will give blue color precipitate. And last test used for identification of starch or carbohydrate is iodine test. We all know iodine test. Reagent is Lugol's iodine, or we can say Lugol's iodine, aqueous iodine. Aqueous iodine is made up of potassium iodate and iodine in 2:1 proportion. Iodine in 2:1 proportion. What happens when starch or any polysaccharide, suppose if we can say amylose, after reacting with iodine, as this is linear chain polysaccharide, we get amylose is bluish color. Bluish color. Amylopectin is branched polysaccharide. Iodine test is used to detect polysaccharide. Like starch, glycogen. Amylopectin is branched polysaccharide, and we will get purple color. Glycogen is there, which is also polysaccharide, highly branched polysaccharide. This glycogen will give reddish brown color. And if starch react with iodine, which is complex polysaccharide, then will give bluish black color. This taste is positive if we get bluish black color, then this taste is positive. And if we get orange or yellow color, then that sample do not contain any polysaccharide and this taste will be negative. We will meet in next video. Keep studying. Thank you.